But she is dead. Yeah, just write a check. Just, yeah, $11,000. She was 26 anyway. She had limited value.
On January 23rd of 2023, Janavi Kandula, a young graduate student full of promise, was struck and killed while crossing a marked crosswalk in Seattle. But what made this tragedy even more shocking was what followed. Police Bodycam audio revealing officers laughing and making callous remarks about her death. The crash, its aftermath, and the public reaction reveal a painful story of loss, accountability, and the urgent need for justice. Jaahnavi Kandula was a brilliant young graduate student from India. She grew up in a middle-class family in Andhra Pradesh. Her mother was a schoolteacher and her father a retired police officer. Janavi earned top grades throughout school and dreamed of studying in the United States. In 2020, she began a master's program at Northeastern University's Seattle campus, studying information systems, and was due to graduate in December 2023. Friends and relatives remember her as a very lively and affectionate girl, very good in her studies, who had dared to dream big. She was on her way home late that January night after finishing work on campus. At about 1 a.m., Janavi stepped off the sidewalk at Dexter Avenue North and Thomas Street and began crossing the street in a marked crosswalk. Officer Dave's dash cam captured Kandula in his path. Officer Dave was responding to a Priority 1 call, a drug overdose.
Transfer to the overdose, 708 North. The person overdosing is calling it in himself. His name is Alex. He's refused to give the rest of the name. He wants to stay on the phone with us until officers arrive.
Mary 2, I'm copying that page.
Officer Dave first chirped his siren at an earlier intersection but was not using it continuously at the time. His emergency lights were on. The footage shows Officer Dave approaching the intersection at high speed. He attempted to brake once he noticed Kandula, but by then it was too late. He was still doing at least 63 miles per hour when the SUV struck her.
Three Mary 2, started supervisor, start fire for a struck pedestrian.
Is it the same location, 7?
Negative, I'm going to be on Aurora.
The force of the collision was catastrophic. Seattle's traffic investigation report later found she was thrown about 138 feet from the point of impact. She was rushed by paramedics to Harborview Medical Center but succumbed to her injuries. She was 23 years old. Officer Dave attempted CPR on Kandula at the scene. In body camera video, Dave appeared visibly despondent after the crash.
Mary 1,
You all right?
the overdose, you're going to
No.
708.
I'm not all right.
North. Waiting out front is Alex. Coming.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, okay, we're probably going to need 213 to start heading this way as well.
Officer Dave began to recount the series of events leading up to the crash to a fellow officer.
Lights were on. Just tripping the siren as I was coming down. She was in the crosswalk. She saw me. She started running through the crosswalk. Slammed on my brakes. Instead of staying back where she should before crossing, she zipped.
Within hours of the crash, the story made headlines. Former Seattle Police Chief Adrian Diaz reiterated that the officer had been en route to an emergency call with lights on, and that no criminal charges had yet been filed. City officials noted that Kandula was in a marked crosswalk on a 25-mile-per-hour street when she was struck, and that the officer's top speed of 74 miles per hour greatly exceeded the speed limit. But under Washington state law, emergency responders may exceed speed limits in critical calls, and a review would determine whether the officer's actions met the legal threshold for vehicular homicide or reckless endangerment. Seattle's Office of Police Accountability opened its investigation immediately. The King County Prosecutor's Office also launched a criminal review. Meanwhile, local residents placed flowers and photos at the crash site, and a small vigil was held. Janavi Kandula's grandfather, K. Suribabu, said the news of her passing shattered them. After her death, her mother quit her job as a private school teacher and failed to recover, struggling with speaking, eating, and sleeping. For months, the case remained mostly quiet, until early September 2023, when the Seattle Police Department released a startling piece of body camera audio. The recording captured Detective Daniel Otterer, the union vice president who had come to check on Officer Dave after the crash, speaking on his radio while still wearing his camera. Otterer is heard describing the accident on a phone call with his police union's president, laughing and speaking callously about the incident.
It does not seem like there's a criminal investigation going on. Otherwise, there would be other... What's that? Yeah. Otherwise, there might be other people arriving, correct? Yeah, I mean, he's going 50. That's not out of control. That's not reckless for a trained driver. Yeah, lights and sirens. Yeah. Yeah, well, there's some... Initially, he said she was in a crosswalk. There's a witness that says, no, she wasn't. But that witness could be different because I don't think she was thrown 40 feet either. I think she went up on the hood, hit the windshield, then when he hit the brakes, flew off the car. But she is dead. No, it's a regular person. Yeah. Yeah, just write a check. Just... Yeah, $11,000. She was 26 anyway. She had limited value.
These comments immediately sparked outrage. The release of the recording prompted protests in Seattle and condemnation nationwide. Online and in the media, people called the comments disgraceful and dehumanizing. Activist groups and community leaders demanded that both officers involved be held accountable. Kandula's grandfather reflected on the ongoing pain caused by the new developments after the initial shock. He described the situation as horrible, depressing, and heart-wrenching, saying the family was forced to relive the emotional turmoil of her death all over again. Politically, the fallout was swift. By mid-September 2023, Seattle Police Chief Diaz announced that Detective Otterer was being pulled off patrol and reassigned to non-operational duties while an administrative investigation took place. Across the city and beyond, Kandula's death, and the cynical jokes afterwards, became a symbol of demands for police accountability and respect for human life. The Northeastern University, where Janavi had studied, announced it would award her master's degree posthumously to honor her memory. Meanwhile, investigators completed their formal reviews. In February of 2024, King County Prosecuting Attorney Lisa Mannion announced that Officer Kevin Dave would not face criminal charges. She explained that after a thorough review, including an independent collision reconstruction, prosecutors found insufficient evidence to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Dave had committed a felony under state law. Technically, the law requires showing criminal negligence or reckless disregard, and the prosecutor concluded that while Dave's speed was extremely high, it did not meet that felony standard in this case. Mannion said that Janavi's death was heartbreaking and impacted communities across the world, but legally, the evidence did not support a criminal case. Seattle police confirmed that Dave had used lights and briefly used siren as protocol demanded, though not continuously. This announcement drew an immediate reaction. In a joint statement, Kandula's family and their attorneys said they were devastated and outraged by the decision and felt betrayed by the justice system. They reiterated that Dave's actions had clearly been negligent and vowed to pursue civil action. The family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the city, asking for $110 million and an additional $11,000 in reference to Audura's callous remark about Kandula's limited value. Legally, the case did not end with the criminal review. In March 2024, Seattle's city attorney issued Officer Dave a $5,000 traffic infraction ticket for negligent driving. Court records show he initially challenged it, but ultimately agreed to pay. The Seattle Police Department's Office of Police Accountability also continued its own disciplinary process. The office had concluded that Officer Auderer had violated department policies on professionalism and bias for the remarks he made. A disciplinary hearing for Auderer was set for March 2024, and he faced possible termination. Pressure had grown for consequences. In July, Interim Chief Sue Rahr announced that Detective Auderer had been fired from the Seattle Police Department for his unprofessional conduct. Auderer later filed a $20 million wrongful termination claim. In January 2025, Rahr announced that Officer Kevin Dave had also been terminated from the force. In an internal email, she wrote that although Dave hadn't meant to harm anyone and was on an emergency call, the deadly outcome of his reckless driving couldn't be excused, and good intentions didn't erase the fatal mistake. This made Dave the first Seattle officer to be fired over a lethal traffic incident in recent history. The death of Janavi Kandula became a stark reminder of the urgent issues surrounding student safety, police accountability, and justice on an international stage. Seattle has since updated its emergency response policies and continues to examine its practices. Yet the questions raised that cold January night and the shock stirred by the callous audio afterward will echo for years to come. Above all, Jaahnavi Kandula is remembered not merely as a victim, but as a young woman whose dreams were cruelly cut short. To her family and all who loved her, we offer our deepest condolences. Thank you for watching Fatal Impact. Please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell for more in-depth reports on the issues shaping our world. Stay informed and drive safely.